Francesco Totti. I know nothing about the guy, so today we're going to be learning who he was, learning about his contribution to the sport of football. So I'm excited to check this out. There is an extended 15-minute highlight video compilation of his playing. If you guys would like to see me react to the highlights, go ahead and drop a like on this video. If we can get 500 likes, then that'll let me know you guys want me to actually go watch the highlights. But today I'm going to learn about him, and Football Iconic is one of my favorite channels. It really dives into history and gives some explanation of things, as well as just being highly entertaining videos. So today we're going to check out Football Iconic, talking about Francesco Totti. Here we go.
When Francesco Totti scored his first goal for Roma, Cristiano Ronaldo was 7 years old, Lionel Messi was 4, and Neymar was 1 month old.
Wow.
Despite this, Totti remained relevant in the world of football well into the age of Messi and Ronaldo, and only really retired a couple of years ago. Well known as l'ottavo re di Roma, the 8th king of Rome, Totti was true to his
name. The 8th king of
Rome.
Rome.
That spanned over 25 years. He only ever really played for one club, a club that he's become so synonymous with that it's hard to think of one without the other. Totti is the second highest goal scorer in Serie A history, one of the greatest players in the history of Italian football, and surely the greatest Roma player to ever live.
Roma,
But to those that didn't have the privilege of watching Totti in his prime, or are simply unaware of how prolific he once was, all of these claims mean very little without any evidence. With that being said, how good was Francesco Totti really? What's up everyone, trust you're all well. In this video, we're going to be taking a brief look into the incredible career of the great Francesco Totti. Born in 1976, you've probably guessed by now that Totti was born and raised in Rome. He started playing football at the age of 8 and would regularly be seen playing football with older, bigger boys. In hindsight, this was probably an indicator of the maturity that he would show in his professional career. In his youth, Totti played for 3 clubs before eventually joining Roma. Something that many may not know is that there was a time when Totti was extremely close to joining the Lazio youth setup. In fact, Totti's youth club at the time, Lodigiani, had reportedly come to an agreement with Lazio that would see him depart the club for the blue side of Rome. If it weren't for one of Roma's youth coaches speaking to Totti's parents and persuading him to join, the story of Il Capitano could have been very different indeed. It's worth noting that despite all of what could have been, Totti was and has always been a Roma fan. Within Roma's football academy, Totti continued to improve. He spent 3 years in the youth setup before eventually being introduced to the first team at just 16 years of age in 1993. From here on, Totti only really made
it's young to be on the first team
for the Roma first team, before eventually solidifying his position in the starting lineup in 1995. He was almost exclusively used as an inside forward at this particular point in time. In the same period, he enjoyed successes on an international level as well, winning the Under-21 UEFA Euro competition with Italy in 1996. The final ended in a 1-1 draw, with Totti scoring the only goal and Italy winning on penalties. I should probably note that he was only 19 at this point. Moving forward to the 1997-98 season, Totti underwent an extreme change in his physical, technical, and tactical ability as a player. This was highlighted due to the fact that Roma had just switched to a 4-3-3 formation and Totti had been placed on the left wing. With his superb technical ability, newfound physical strength, and impressive work rate, Totti was able to truly make a name for himself at the club. He finished off this season with 13 goals, going into double figures for the first time in his career. In addition to this, he was handed the legendary number 10 jersey. In the following season, Totti's
what a play! Oh my gosh!
12 goals from the wing.
What an accurate pass!
Something else began to happen too. Totti was proving himself to be one of the best and most influential players in Italy and even the world, despite only being 22 years of age. This resulted in Totti being given the captain's armband on the 31st of October 1998. And you probably guessed it, this made him the youngest captain in the history of Roma. But this was only the beginning of Totti's meteoric rise to stardom. In 1999, Roma was starting to build a rather formidable side, with star players such as Cafu, Vincenzo Montella, and Damiano Tomasi. Alongside Totti, who was entering his prime, Roma were beginning to look the real deal. Probably the biggest show of intent, outlining Roma's ambition to win the title, was the appointment of Fabio Capello in June 1999 as the head coach. Prior to joining Roma, Capello had already won 4 Serie A titles and a Champions League with AC Milan, as well as 1 La Liga title.
I learned about Milan.
If ever Roma were to mount a serious challenge to the Serie A title, this seemed to be the right moment. Over the next 2 years, Roma continued to improve and brought in marquee signings
Excellent passing,
such as
man.
Gabriel Batistuta and Walter Samuel in the summer of 2000. In addition to this, along with his already world-class abilities, Totti
That
emerged as
first
a highly
touch, man!
efficient playmaker. He made 16 assists
He
in
just
the
caught the ball.
2000 season, which
He caught it with
still
his
remains
foot.
the joint highest number of assists in a single Serie A season,
Oh
only
my
equaled
gosh.
by Alejandro Gomez. This
Sorry.
playmaking ability came as a result of Totti being moved into the center of the field as an attacking midfielder. This brings us to the 2000-2001 Serie A season, a season that many, including myself, will call Totti's greatest ever season in a Roma shirt. This is due to a fact that he led Roma to their 3rd ever Serie A title, a feat that they have failed to repeat ever since. Being the man that lifted the Scudetto as the Roma captain firmly solidified Totti's legendary status for the club. And the fact that he was a born and bred Roman meant that the fans were able to relate to him and his background
Oh, what
in the
a
most
play.
authentic way possible.
Faking out
Totti
the
finished off
goalkeeper.
that season with 13 goals and 5 assists, equaling his personal best goal scoring record. And as a result of his performances this season, in conjunction with his leadership, he was named the Serie A Player of the Year, as well as the Serie A Italian
Y'all
Footballer
call it
of the Year
Serie
in
A?
2000. He also
Not
finished
Serie
5th
A?
in the Ballon d'Or voting in 2001. At this point, a 24-year-old Totti was reaching superstardom. Due to all of his successes up to this point, many were now looking to Totti to bring in a new era of sustained success with Roma and the Italian national team. This was unfortunately not to be the case. At club level, Roma failed to push on from their Scudetto win as they lost the title race to Juventus in the 2001-2002 season by a single point. The very next season, Roma slumped all the way down to 8th place in the Serie A standings. On an international front, things weren't much brighter. He failed to impress in the 2002 World Cup, where rather uncharacteristically,
has perfect
he
hair.
missed several good goal-scoring opportunities. Italy were eventually knocked out in the round of 16, and Totti was even given a red card in their final match after receiving a second yellow card for diving. The Italian media certainly was not impressed. Moreover, the 2004
You can get
UEFA
yellow
Euro
carded for
competition
diving?
didn't make things much better. Italy were knocked out.
I don't feel like they do that much anymore.
Totti was once again in a bit of controversy after he spat on Danish midfielder Christian Poulsen in Italy's opening match of the tournament. This resulted in another multi-match ban. Now, despite all of these disappointments, Totti was still performing at quite a high level, for Roma at least. Between 2001 and 2004, he scored 55 goals and made 13 assists in 109
That play right
appearances
there
in
just
Serie
kills
A.
me.
He was at the top of his game.
Spinning backwards and
He had no
passes
trophies
with
to
the
show
back
for
of
it.
his foot.
Now, you're probably thinking that there's a simple solution to this. If Totti wanted more trophies, why not just leave Roma for Real Madrid or something? If you were indeed thinking that, I mean, hats off to you, because so was Totti himself. In a recent interview, Totti revealed that he was incredibly close to joining Real Madrid in 2004. He stated, "I really was on the cusp of that transfer. It was practically done." However, he could not bring himself to leave due to his love for the club and his loyalty to the Roma chairman, Franco Sensi. Bear in mind that in refusing the transfer, he turned down the opportunity to play with players such as Ronaldo Fenomeno, Zinedine Zidane, Roberto Carlos, and David Beckham. You just
Wow.
cannot buy this kind of loyalty. In 2006, after
What
failing
a
to win silver
super
since
team that would have been.
2001, Totti went on to grab the biggest trophy of them all with Italy, the World Cup. Now, this was not an easy victory by any means. Prior to the World Cup in June, Totti suffered a fracture to his left fibula in a match against Empoli in February. This understandably put him at risk of missing the World Cup. However, he managed to recover just in time for the competition, and even played every match of the entire tournament with a metal plate attached to his ankle. This man was an
Respect.
absolute warrior. After the World Cup, Totti entered his goal-scoring prime. During a time in his career when many assumed that he would be nearing retirement, he altered his playstyle and improved once more. Due to the arrival of new coach Luciano Spalletti in late 2006, Roma changed their formation to a 4-5-1. What was unique about this change of tactics was that Totti was now deployed in the quote-unquote striker position, although he actually operated as a false nine, drawing defenders out of position dropping deep
I
into the
understand
midfield
false
and
nine.
playmaking. As a
Now-
result of this, some refer to the formation that Roma were playing as a 4-6-0 with no real strikers. Nonetheless, Totti finished the 2006-07 season with 26 league goals and 8 assists in 35 matches, a career high of 34 combined goal contributions. This upturn in form accumulated in 2 back-to-back Coppa Italia victories in 2007
His
and
physique,
2008,
he looks like he
as well
bulked up
as
a little
European
bit.
Golden Shoe victory in 2007. From 2008 and onwards, Totti
Very
began to
muscular
enter the late stages
in the
of
later
his career.
later end of his
Or
career.
so we thought. Little did we know that a then 31-year-old Totti would play football professionally for close to 10 more years. And within that 10-year period, Totti went on to break every record under the sun in Serie A. Now, at risk of this video running for longer than it already has, notable records that Totti broke in this period and that he currently holds
Unbelievable.
are the second most goals scored in Serie A history with 250 goals. He's the oldest UEFA Champions League goal scorer, having been 38 years and 59 days old when he scored, and he has the third highest number of appearances in Serie A history, with 619 appearances. On the 28th of May 2017, what seemed like the impossible finally came true. At 41 years of age, Totti retired from professional football as the greatest player.
I
in
saw
Roman
this
history,
retirement
certified
video, but I didn't
worldwide.
know who
Truth be
Totti
told,
was. Okay.
He probably could have played for slightly longer. Even Totti himself shares that sentiment. However, this is another longer story involving the Roma board that's probably better suited for its own video. True to his name, Totti is deservedly renowned as the King of Rome. His undying loyalty and warrior mentality is about as inspirational as they come. Long live l'ottavo re di Roma.
Easily the
And
best hair
there
in
we have
football.
As
think.
usual, I'm curious to know what all of your opinions are of Francesco Totti, not only as a player, but also as a symbol. And adding on to that, how much do you think a prime Totti would go for in today's transfer market? If you made it this far, cheers for watching the video, and if you enjoyed the content, feel free to leave a like. Anyway, that's me, cheers, and
Wow.
I'll catch you in the next one.
All right. Francesco Totti. Unbelievable player. I like football iconics breakdowns of things. I like seeing, kind of feeling the gravity that surrounded Totti as a player, what he meant to football, what he meant to Roma and Italy. I think that it's noble when players I understand when players change clubs. They're trying to make money, to have generational wealth for their children, so that their children can be provided for and their children's children can be provided for. So I understand why players will leave for bigger contracts, and I have no ill will towards players who do that, but there is something in my heart that really loves players who stick to one club for their whole career, and really don't leave the club. Like I said, I think it's great when players can go chase a bigger contract and make more money. More power to them. They have a skill that very few human beings on the planet Earth have, so they're entitled to go use that skill to make as much money as they can. No problem with that whatsoever. But someone I love is Dirk Nowitzki, who played in the NBA here in the States. He played for my home team, the Dallas Mavericks. He's from Germany. Dirk Nowitzki played 20 years for our team, and he actually took pay cuts in order so that they could bring in people to help him win more championships. And unfortunately, we didn't win as many as I think we could have. But Dirk Nowitzki, he means everything to us in Dallas. We love that guy. And it's because of his loyalty that he never left the club. And there's something about players who do that they have just a unique place in my heart when they're able to do that. So I definitely really respect Francesco Totti. I think he was what a legend, and it's great for me to learn about him. And I definitely respect him. So with that being said, if you like this video and you've made it all the way 14 minutes into this video, I really would appreciate your subscription if you're not already subscribed. And that's 70% of people who watch my videos that haven't subscribed. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. If you want me to watch a compilation of highlights from his career, 500 likes. 500 likes. And I'll know that that's what you guys want to see. And I'll circle back around and we'll do a highlight video of Totti. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.